Welcome to BioVivacious. BioVivacious, as you know, is a YouTube channel dedicated to clear fundamental concepts of biosciences. Today we are going to deal with the synthesis of triacylglycerol. Triacylglycerol, as you know, is a storage form of fatty acid. So this fatty acid is normally stored as triacylglyceride in the adipose tissues. And you know that adipose tissue is present at the subcutaneous level as well as as a visceral fat. So this triacylglycerol will be preserved or will be stored in the adipocyte and it will form a kind of a globular structure. Now this triacylglycerol which can be utilized for future use. Today we are going to see how this triacylglycerol is synthesized. Let us look at where exactly triacylglycerols are synthesized. Most important site for synthesizing triacylglycerol, one is liver. The second one is definitely adipocytes. And the third one is intestine. So these are the locations where triacylglycerol is synthesized. Now, in order to synthesize triacylglycerol, let us look at the structure of a triacylglycerol. So therefore, the two things that is present in a triacylglycerol, one is a glycerol. Okay? And second is fatty acid. So therefore, I'll put it this way, that is better. So this is the structure of a triacylglycerol. From the structure we can make out this portion is the glycerol unit, this is the glycerol unit, and these are three fatty acids that are attached to a glycerol. So therefore, if the two requirements for synthesizing triacylglycerol is, one is glycerol 3-phosphate and the second is fatty acyl CoA. So these are the two requirements for synthesizing triacylglycerol: glycerol 3-phosphate and fatty acyl CoA. So let us see how these molecules are synthesized. Okay, this is the molecule we are going to construct. Now, in order to construct this molecule, fatty acyl CoA, how to synthesize, we have learned earlier. So still I am repeating. So it is constructed by, you have a fatty acid attached an ATP plus a coenzyme A and an enzyme known as fatty acyl CoA synthetase. Fatty acyl CoA synthetase. So this will convert fatty acid to fatty acyl CoA, and this is the molecule that we wanted, plus AMP plus PPI. So this is the reaction by which fatty acyl CoA is synthesized, or it is made available in liver or in intestine in order to synthesize triacylglycerol. Now look at how to synthesize glycerol 3-phosphate. Now glycerol 3-phosphate can be synthesized in two ways. Why two ways? It depends on where exactly it is synthesized. For example, if it is liver, in liver, glycerol 3-phosphate is synthesized from glycerol. So how can liver get glycerol? Which is very interesting. Liver will get glycerol from the breakdown of triacylglycerol, which will happen in the adipocytes. We have learned in a video that you will get glycerol and it cannot be utilized in the adipose cells. So therefore, this glycerol is transported all the way up to liver. Liver has an enzyme known as glycerol kinase. called glycerol kinase. So therefore, a molecule of ATP is needed, ADP, and it becomes glycerol, writing here, glycerol 3-phosphate. So our requirement for glycerol 3-phosphate is met in the liver. So when it comes to adipose cells, there is a new different pathway. In adipose cells, it has to be made from glycolysis. So therefore, what happens in the adipose cell? Glycolysis will happen. So it will convert glucose to dihydroxyacetone phosphate. You are familiar with that pathway. So therefore, once you have dihydroxyacetone phosphate in liver, in adipose cells, it can be easily converted into glycerol 3-phosphate. Structure of dihydroxyacetone phosphate is this. This has to be converted to this molecule. So what is the structure? This is glycerol 3-phosphate. So what is the structural difference? The structural difference from dihydroxyacetone phosphate and glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate is, look at carbon number 2. There are 2 hydrogens attached. So therefore, this is a reduced form. This can be easily made by an NADH dependent glycerol 3-phosphate dehydrogenase enzyme. NADH dependent glycerol 3-phosphate dehydrogenase enzyme. So this is how glycerol 3-phosphate is made available for triacylglycerol synthesis in the adipose cells. And this whole process is called glycerogenesis. So therefore, this is called glycerogenesis. Synthesizing glycerol. After making these requirements available, let us see how do we synthesize triacylglycerol. So synthesis of triacylglycerol begins from glycerol 3-phosphate. Glycerol 3-phosphate. So glycerol 3-phosphate, let us write the structure of glycerol 3-phosphate. So this is glycerol 3-phosphate. Now to this glycerol 3-phosphate, what happens is one of the fatty acyl-CoA is added. So fatty acyl-CoA is added. So it is added, and this fatty acyl-CoA gets incorporated as carbon number 1, and coenzyme A is removed. The name of the enzyme responsible for transferring this fatty acid to glycerol 3-phosphate is acyltransferase. We will come across many acyltransferases. Let us call this one acyltransferase number 1. So what will happen? This fatty acyl group is added to carbon number 1, and you are going to get this product. So therefore, CH2O. So the product that you are going to get is here OCR1. A new fatty acid is attached. So what shall we call this product? There is only one fatty acid. So therefore, this is called monoacylglycerol 3-phosphate. We got monoacylglycerol 3-phosphate. Very simple step. Now the second step. So in order to make the second step, let us begin here. So therefore, we will have monoacylglycerol 3-phosphate. So this will be, so monoacylglycerol 3-phosphate. Now add the second fatty acyl-CoA. CoA is removed. Again, the next enzyme is acyltransferase number 2. that obviously will transfer the fatty acid to carbon number 2. What is interesting about a triacylglycerol, which is normally found in our system, mammalian system, is at carbon number 1, a saturated fatty acid is attached. And at carbon number 2, normally an unsaturated fatty acid is attached. And you are very familiar with all the unsaturated fatty acids like oleic acid, linolenic. So all these fatty acids can be attached to carbon number 2. So which means this fatty acyl-CoA is nothing but an unsaturated fatty acid. So we will get CH2O So we are getting this product. 2 different fatty acids are attached. What shall we call this one? Diacylglycerol 3-phosphate. Diacylglycerol 3-phosphate. Now the next step is to attach a third fatty acid. And the third fatty acid has to be attached to carbon number 3. But there is a phosphate group present there. Now we need to remove this phosphate group. How to remove the phosphate group? It's very easy. So we have a third enzyme coming, and that enzyme is phosphatase, which will remove this phosphate. And if phosphate is removed and this is made an alcoholic group, what will be the name of that? I'm not writing the structure. It will be 1,2-diacylglycerol. 1,2-diacylglycerol. So remember, 1,2-diacylglycerol is an important molecule. Similarly, this diacylglycerol 3-phosphate is also an important molecule. Because, this molecule has another name. We normally call it phosphatidic acid. This is the starting point for synthesizing phospholipids. So we begin synthesizing phospholipids from this particular molecule. So let us see how do we go ahead by synthesizing triacylglycerol. So we have 1,2-diacylglycerol. So let us continue. So we have the diacylglycerol here. Now in the next step, and that is the last step, and that has to be attachment of a third fatty acid. So therefore fatty acyl CoA is added, CoA is removed, and the enzyme is acyl transferase number 3. We will get this product. So this is the product we are getting. OCR1, second fatty acid, third fatty acid. You see, this is a product initially we introduced. So this whole blue thing is the glycerol moiety, and the red is the 3 free fatty acids which we have added to it. So we get triacylglycerol. Once the triacylglycerol is synthesized in liver as well as in the intestine or in the adipose tissues, or especially intestine and liver, what happens to this is it is released. It is packed into VLDL, very low density lipoprotein, transported to wherever there is fatty adipose tissues. It is transported to those adipose tissues. There it is stored for future use. Now remember, muscle also can store adipose tissues. If you look at red meat, you will see white marbles in the meat. That is nothing but it is the accumulation of triacylglycerol. And muscle make use of this triacylglycerol when there is a need for energy.